Hello, my name is Jim Kennedy. My wife and I live in the Woodlands, a community about 40 miles north of downtown Houston. I am 76 years old and I've been retired for 21 years. I've been married to my wife Joy for 22 years, and you will meet her shortly and you will get some understanding of why I tell others that being married to Joy makes me the luckiest man in the world. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2006, but I refused to allow PD to define me as a person. My primary motor symptom is the same today as the day I was diagnosed. Stiffness of fine motor movements in my dominant right arm and hand, making tasks like computer work and working with small parts more difficult. In addition, about halfway through my journey with PD, I developed a tremor in my right leg, which occurs when my meds are in the off state and is triggered by using that leg, like in operating a vehicle or by performing other tasks such as eating, writing, or working on the computer or mobile device. Because I've taken various forms of levodopa since I was first diagnosed, I have dyskinesia when my meds are in the on state, in my mouth, and in my right hand and arm. Dopamine agonists have also caused me problems with OCD, but fortunately none has been catastrophic, although they have stressed our marriage on numerous occasions. Joy helps me keep this under control by old-fashioned enforcement, and we work with our doctor to minimize the use of dopamine agonists. I know I'm very fortunate that PD doesn't keep me from doing anything that I want to do, although sometimes it makes things a little more difficult. Here are a few things that help keep me going. Joy and I make a concerted effort to spend considerable time with friends and family. I believe it's very important not to give in to the temptation to isolate yourself to avoid potential embarrassing situations. In other words, we just try to live a normal life. I try to keep an active mind by such things as learning how to do new things on the computer, reading, and pursuing my hobbies, with appropriate restraint, of course. We love to travel and see and learn about new places. My doctor is a movement disorder specialist, and this has proved helpful on several issues, one of which was a recent situation with a dopamine agonist. I can't imagine a general neurologist having the experience or expertise to make this specific medication change. I like coffee, but frankly it's overrated. Humor is the true elixir of life. Sometimes I think a good laugh does more good for me and Joy than all the pharmaceutical dog food I consume every day. Don't be afraid to act silly either. I'm not going to tell you that Joy and I exercise every day come hell or high water, but we exercise as much as possible, given the limitations of my bad back and Joy's bad knees, and our social schedule. Some of you may be aware of my advocacy for vigorous exercise combined with rhythmic music to reduce PD motor symptoms. I don't know what that was. I don't like to think about my life without Joy, in many respects, but especially as my PD support partner. She keeps me centered and focused. Speaking of Joy, I want to introduce you to her and give her some time to share with you how she sees her role. Here's the joy of my life.
Hello, I'm Jim's other half, Joy. Jim and I had a very strong bond in our marriage from day one, but after his PD diagnosis in 2006, our relationship became even stronger. Neither of us was expecting or prepared for this diagnosis, which occurred in our 8th year of marriage. I was devastated because I thought our lives would dramatically change overnight. Although this does happen with some, thankfully it did not in Jim's case. As the years have progressed, some of Jim's drugs have changed and some have stayed the same. Some of the drugs are mind-altering drugs and have strong side effects, negative side effects, which is a great concern to both of us. I'm always aware when Jim's drugs are creating havoc with his mind or when his dyskinesia is causing him to seem a bit hyper. I can see it in his eyes and on his face, just as I can see when he is stressed out. Stress is Parkinson's enemy, any kind of stress. If we're at home and I feel he needs a change in direction, I will suggest we turn lights down, sit in our recliners, and relax. If we're out at a restaurant, I will ask him if he would like for me to handle the bill, or sometimes I will motion to the waiter or waitress that I will handle it myself. OCD can be a problem with Parkinson's and has been a problem on occasion with Jim. I try soft pedaling at first if I feel it's time to step in. If that doesn't work, I have been known to bear down pretty hard on him. I really dislike doing this, but I know it's necessary. Humor plays an important part in our marriage, and sometimes I can be angry with him about his OCD behavior, and then, in a matter of seconds, I will burst out laughing. His charming and handsome face does it to me every time. Jim is my soulmate and my best friend. I love him beyond words. I am so blessed that he chose me after his late wife passed away. I hope we have many more years together as husband and wife. I am here for him, no matter what he is experiencing, no matter what the problem is at the time. We will deal with his Parkinson's together from this point forward, just as we have dealt with everything else that has come our way prior.
See what I mean? We hope you found our story a little bit informative and maybe somewhat helpful. We welcome your comments, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks for listening, and please, let us be among the first to wish you
Happy Thanksgiving!